TV. Today is the 24th of January 2023. Remember, guys, to like, share, comment, and follow us everywhere: Instagram, Facebook page, Prince Miller Entertainment. Our Facebook group is Prince Miller Entertainment TV. We're available on Twitter. It's P Miller ENT. So, guys, the majority of the 291 private voluntary organizations are recently deregistered by the Registrar of Private Voluntary Organisations had not submitted their annual returns as required by the Private Voluntary Organisations Act, a cabinet minister has said. Speaking to the Herald, Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare Minister Paul Mavima said the PVOs were deregistered for different reasons, but mainly because of their failure to submit audited financial statements. He said the reasons for deregistration vary from one organisation to another, but basically most of them failed to submit the needed annual returns as mandated by the Act. Typically, you will find that on rare occasions there are issues of national security, but those are very rare. The main problem was people biting off more than they could chew. People just register, but they do not deliver on their mandate, and also some cannot keep up with the requirements for reporting, and therefore they end up being deregistered. For example, they say they want to provide services to vulnerable people, maybe children, maybe elderly people. They bring brilliant ideas, but on implementation, they find that they cannot get the resources that are needed, and they cannot keep up with the requirements. That is to say, bring the report on an annual basis and bring audited financial statements. As a result, they fail to comply, let alone deliver on the mandate, so they end up being deregistered because they've not fulfilled their requirements for registration. The registrar of the PVOs had earlier announced the cancellation of the certificate of the delisted organizations for not complying with what the Act required. It said in a statement, the Registrar of Private Voluntary Organisations, in conjunction with the Private Voluntary Organisation Board, has noted with concern that a number of registered private voluntary organisations are not complying with their prescribed expectations of their operations as outlined in terms of the Private Voluntary Organisations Act, Chapter 17.05. Accordingly, the Registrar of Private Voluntary Organisations and the Private Voluntary Organisation Board have therefore deregistered 291 organisations that were found to be non-compliant with the provisions of the Private Voluntary Organisations Act. So, guys, that's the latest here. 291 PVOs have been deregistered. 291. That's a big number. Because of that new bill which was passed last year, we talked about it here on Daily News Special. In a Private Voluntary Organization Act is hurumende yakunyasongorora manje ma organizations aya kuti vakuita nezvei. Kana mimati mukuya kuzobatsira vanhu kumaruwa, mukuya kuzotenga mishonga yevanhu, kana mubatsira vana, kana kuti mubatsira vasingaoni, munenge muchiita zvakanaka, of course, but they want to know kuti mari yacho yamunenge muchizoshandisa munenge mawana kupi, motiratidzawo kuti mabasa amukuita acho ndaapi, zviri kufamba sei, chiri kuita. The government is now 100% involved in those NGOs and private voluntary organizations, ma PVOs. Saka mutonewa kutoti it's now becoming so difficult kuti tuone vanhu vachange vachiuya muZimbabwe kuuya kuzobatsira kumaruwa vachiita sei, because vazhinji vanga vachitonzi actually they are working with the opposition political parties. Some of these guys are funding the opposition political parties. Saka it is what it is. Pane pazvakanakira, at the same time pane pazvakaipira ndepekuti chaona ma-organizations akawanda achibuda muZimbabwe achienda kune dzimwe nyika. So, guys, ngatitaure in the comment section. This is the daily news, breaking news, everyday news on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Hurumende yada kuziva kuti mari dzavo dziri kufamba sei. So every year they need to submit some annual returns to the ministry kuti vanyatsoona kuti zviri kufamba sei, vanhu mari dzavo dziri kubva kupi, and chiri kunyatsoitika panyaya dzemashandiro vanenge vachiita muZimbabwe. So we'll be keeping you guys up to date with the latest here on daily news, breaking news, everyday news on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Ngatitaure in the comment section. Remember to like, share, comment, and follow. Bless up.